So today we're going to be looking at a new stealth model, very mysterious, called Quasar Alpha, and nobody is sure what it is, but some people are saying it's the new Gemini 3.0 Pro. Other people are saying this is the new GPT-5. We'll be testing it out today. So you can actually test this model from OpenRouter inside openrouter.ai. Let me pull this up for you and we'll show you exactly how to get access to it. All right, and you can see it's actually right at the top here, trending directly on OpenRouter. So if you go to openrouter.ai and then you go to Quasar Alpha, this is a cloaked model. Nobody is sure what it is. Some people are speculating it is, for example, GPT-5 or Gemini 3.0. We're going to go inside the chat here and we'll compare it as well. So we can actually do a comparison versus other models. You can see it's got a 1 million token context length, which is absolutely insane. And it's completely free to use right now. Now, from my test so far, it is very fast to use. And you can also code with it directly inside of root code and client. It is absolutely insane what you can do with this, all right? So, for example, we can actually do some tests here. So let's say, for example, we wanted to build a self-playing snake game. We'll say build a self-playing snake game inside the chat here. And in a sec, you'll see it respond. Again, this is completely free to use. And it's now creating the code directly. We can also say, okay, create that in HTML, and it will just go off and do its magic, all right? The other thing you can do here is you can go inside OpenRouter, go to your keys, create an API key, and then you can start using this inside other models, right? So for example, if we go inside Visual Studio Code here, then we're going to go to settings, then we're going to select OpenRouter, and we'll switch from Llama 4 over to, for example, Quasar. All right, so OpenRouter / Quasar Alpha. We'll hit save, hit done, and then we can do its magic, correct? Now, this is a model that we built, a self-playing snake game we built with the latest release from Llama 4. And you can see it is pretty trash, all right? It doesn't work at all. Now, if we try the same thing with, for example, Quasar Alpha, so we're going to say create a self-playing snake game, and I'm just going to switch to normal code mode here, just to make it easier and faster. It's going to start coding with that free API key, all right? Super simple and easy to use. Now, if we go back to OpenRouter, we've got the response in HTML over here, as you can see. So we can copy that, and then we'll test out on Liveweave, and that is working perfectly. Look at that. Boom. Even a nice little UI. So you can use it directly inside the chat here, super fast, and you can also use it inside Visual Studio Code. I would recommend using it in combination with something like root code for coding, and then you can build out free websites and that sort of thing. But it does seem super powerful. You've seen the output here of Quasar Alpha versus the latest model from Llama 4 that literally just came out a few hours ago. And this is much, much better. All right. So pretty simple and easy to use. I'm just going to go back here, make sure that we are using Quasar Alpha. Seems to be some sort of error where sometimes if you hit save, it doesn't work, right? So we'll switch that back now. And we can also, for example, like build websites. So if I say, okay, build a modern, sleek landing page for my SEO agency, we can build out websites for free as well using Quasar Alpha. All right. So you can see here, the API cost is 0. And it will just start doing its magic and building stuff out. Now, if we actually go inside the chat models here and we say, okay, what model are you? It says, I'm based on OpenAI's GPT-4 architecture, which makes everyone think like this must be a new model from OpenAI, right? So we'll say, okay, what's the name of your model? Are you GPT-5? And it says, no, I'm based on GPT-4, not GPT-5. It has knowledge up to October 2023. So it's still part of the GPT-4 family, okay? So if you see any speculation saying it's GPT-5, at least you know now, right? Now, if we go onto YouTube here, a lot of people are raving about this model, right? So you can see here, for example, some people saying how good it is, other people saying this is like a cloaked new GPT-5, etc. Either way, it is pretty powerful and it's been good so far. So let's see what it comes back with on root code here when it comes to coding this website out. I also did some deep research on Quasar Alpha, and it was saying it's a mysterious large language model recently released by OpenRouter, sparking speculation about its origins and capabilities. Key features, 1 million token context window. Bear in mind, Llama 4 apparently has a 10 million context window. So even though this is large, it's not the largest. Stealth release, so it's released quietly as a stealth model for free. And performance, so it's showing really strong benchmarks like you see right here. You can actually see a couple of the benchmarks in terms of how it's performing. This is an awesome article by Ju Liang, and you can see how it's performing on the Ada Polyglot coding benchmark. So it's competitive with O3 Mini Medium, DeepSeek version 3, and Sonnet 3.6 is also very fast. So Quasar Alpha is here, and it's pretty much holding its own against Claude, O3 Mini, and DeepSeek, but it's being outperformed by a long way versus Gemini 2.5 Pro, which honestly I think is by far the best model that I've seen so far. Also, other people are saying there's some technical clues here. So the use of chat CMPL, prefix and API responses, and a tool called ID format similar to OpenAI's supports this OpenAI as well, right? So it must be a model by OpenAI because inside the chat here, it's saying it's based on OpenAI's GPT-4 architecture. And then also inside the prefix, it's also being used there as well. Let's test it out for writing as well. So I'm just going to go inside my list of tests. We'll grab that. And we'll see how it performs for creating content. What I'm also going to see is, does the web search method work, all right? So even though it's only updated to October 2023, if it works with web search, then that's an easy way to like just make the model much more powerful. We're also going to do this on a new room simply because we don't want to ruin the context before. And you can see it's coding that out right here. And now we have the page ready to go. So it's created that landing page based on SEO agency. It's not as good as other models that I've seen, for example, like 3.7 Sonnet, but it's not bad for a free API, right? And you can easily, for example, automate and build and code out tools, apps, games, etc. inside Visual Studio Code. Completely free API. You could also use this, for example, inside NA10, I believe, as well. So let's test it out. We'll go over to NA10, see if this works. So if you want to build out your own AI agents, we'll see if we can connect this to Quasar Alpha. So what we're going to do is select router. We'll grab a new API key, and then we'll plug that in here. Perfect. All right. Can we get Quasar Alpha here? Yeah, we can. All right. So you can actually build AI agents for free using Quasar Alpha inside NA10. To use NA10 for free, all you need to do is host this locally. And then to use OpenRouter with Quasar Alpha, then all you need to do is just go to your AI agent over here, plug that information right here, and then you can use the credentials directly. All right, so you can see OpenRouter Quasar Alpha. And then if we hit save on that, open up the chat and say, are you working? We're just going to make sure the AI agent has the system message right here. Try that again. See if that works. If not, what you can also do, if that's just playing up or something like that, then you can also switch to another different model here. So let's switch to Qwen 32B instead. And there we go. Boom. All right. So when a chat message is received using the AI agent, and then inside OpenRouter, select your credentials and add Quasar Alpha, and you are good to go. As you can see right here, it worked perfectly. All right. I think the first time it didn't work because I didn't set up. That was one of my team that managed the AI agent. But if you just bear in mind, if your team sets up other AI agents inside NA10, it doesn't seem to work when you plug in your OpenRouter details. You can see that works perfectly now, right here with the AI agent created in a couple of minutes. And then if you want to edit what it does, etc., you can just insert the system message right there. But basically, between using RouCode, NA10, and also OpenRouter chat, you can basically build whatever you want using Quasar Alpha. It must be a new release from ChatGPT, I would say, or OpenAI, but it's going to be interesting to see when it gets announced and what's coming next, all right? So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to my AI Profit Boardroom with all my best agents, automations, etc., workflows, feel free to get that. Link in the comments description. Price is going up this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss out. And it comes with all my best SOPs, tips, templates, workflows, etc. And this gets updated pretty much daily, as you can see. On top of that, it also comes with weekly Q&As, focus on making you more money and saving time with AI. So you can jump on the weekly live calls here, ask any questions you have. And inside the community, we have 694 members, right? So you can post in here, ask people for help. And then anytime you get stuck with AI, feel free to post directly here, all right? So thanks so much for watching. Feel free to get that inside the link in the comments description. And additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month, generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales and autopilot, feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.